you think there is any kind of music that would not be appropriate to play a worship song with? So like typically I think of like heavy, like really strong metal. I don't know, or other things. So just wondered if you had any thoughts on that after doing some like really basic look at the scriptures and what kind of instruments would have been around in the first century. Kind of seems like, well, and before that, kind of seems like everybody was kind of using the same kinds of instruments. So
okay, so there's a couple of things.
Lots of drums, and if it sounds like the Hoff goes off music, it's acceptable.
So I don't know if Justin was around and listening back in the day, but back in the day, Rob and I had a little contest. Rob does this thing every once in a while where he gets really worked up and quite mad, and veins start to pop, and he starts talking really fast, and you can't stop him, and we call it the Hoff goes off. Okay, and so we thought it would be really funny if we had the Hoff goes off music. So every time that Rob got to that point, I could play the music, and it would kind of give him the notion that he needed to maybe bring it down just a little bit. And when I say a little bit, I mean like a ton. Right?
I've been pretty good the last couple of years.
You've been pretty good the past couple of years.
I've backed off.
So we did. That's what we did. We both created music for the Hoff goes off, and then we played them for each other without on air live. We played them for each other without hearing them first. Like I didn't hear Rob's. Rob didn't hear mine. Rob's was so good, but it was like heavy metal.
We need to find the clip where you respond.
I will never forget that because that was freaking hilarious. anyway, the point is that
the reveal.
Yeah, when that happened, we had several people, not a lot, but several people that were like, "This is the devil's music," because it has a beat that is of the devil. Like these were legitimate comments. They were not joking. They were like, this is satanic because of the beat. Okay, so we actually have talked about this, but it was a long time ago. So let's talk about it again. Sean wants to hear it. He says, please play it. Okay, let's see if I have.
We need the one that you made.
The Hoff goes off. Here, let's see if this is it. Dude, it's still just as good every time I hear it, man. That's Rob Vanhoff singing The Hoff Goes Off, ladies and gentlemen.
Well, performing all parts, actually.
Yeah, performing all parts, yes. Yes, very good. Dude, awesome. Anyway.
That was like, what year was that? 8 years ago?
No.
That was season 1?
No. That was like season 3 or 4, I would say.
Really? Okay,
yeah.
We need to.
I have
if
a
someone
clip.
could find
I have a clip.
Of the real reveal. I
have a clip of that.
Oh, good.
I have a clip of it. Somewhere. I'll find it.
We need to put it as a short.
Okay.
YouTube.
It's on YouTube as a short. I'm pretty sure it is.
Okay, cool.
I'll find a link. I'll find a link for you. By next week, we'll have it. Anyway, so all of that to say.
Okay, back to Justin. Yeah.
Yeah. So the question then at the time, and the question now was the music that Rob created satanic because of the beat? And here is my now,
or the high pitched screech,
screech. Right. Now, here's the thing: is that several things on this. First of all, Justin says worship music, so specifically for worship. I think that it is my personal opinion. There's nowhere in the scripture that says that a certain beat is evil, or that a certain genre of music is evil. The content of the words that are in the music is actually because ultimately, what is it? Back when people were writing classical music, I forget what composer it was, but he wrote in like a 2/5 time or something like that. And this was considered like, that was like the rock music of the time. Like, you don't do that. It's that like, that's
broke the rules.
Yeah. He broke the rules. And this was, so as culture progresses, we have a progression of not only genre of music, but we have a progression of instruments that are played, right? So for instance, today we have electric guitar, and back in, 200 years ago, there was no such thing as electric guitar. And so the idea is that, and Brandon in the chat room says, definitely not a type of music that certain music does bring feelings, right?
Yeah, there's a physiological
aspect to it. But the point here is that what gives us a different feeling today is no doubt going to be, so when I hear classical music, it tends to relax me. But people, when that classical music was being written, a certain kind of classical music would actually make them tense up. That doesn't happen for me. So once again, this comes back to the fact that culture changes how we react to certain things, how we're brought up in the music that we're around. You know, I know people who like love, and I mean love, like heavy metal kind of stuff because that's what their parents listened to it or whatever. Well, that's not.
So there's like a cultural or a socialization or a cultural conditioning. Like
right. Yeah, I used to listen when I was growing up. I listened to pop punk. That was like the thing, like Christian pop punk. And there are people who would listen to that. Like to me, that actually takes me back to my teen years, which I definitely don't want to. Definitely don't want to be back in. And actually, I don't like those years of my life. So it's not good memories, but it brings up those nostalgic memories. It's not, the point, all of this to say that I don't think that there is a certain style or a certain beat or anything like that that is satanic. What I think is that there are certain, obviously the content, the words and the themes within the music are the things that I think will glorify or not glorify God. Now, with that said, when it comes to worship music, and this is going to be controversial, but I don't care. When it comes to worship music, I think that culture dictates what's appropriate for music in a certain given time. So, for instance, right now, I think that if you walked into a church and they were playing heavy metal for worship music, I don't think that most people would find that to be appropriate. Now, is that biblically inappropriate? No, it's culturally inappropriate. At least it is here in my circles. But I would say this is one of the reasons that I really enjoy the church that I attend. We sing hymns, and currently we sing hymns a cappella. And I find that to be the most retrospective I am able to focus on the words the most at that point. Thank you so much for watching this video. Tell us your thoughts on this subject by leaving a comment in the comment section. Make sure you like, share, subscribe, and enable those notifications. And we'll see you in the next video.